Hello everyone, Treecks here, and welcome back to the top of Grunty's tower. Last time we made sure good old Grunty here, the bad guy of Banjo-Kazooie, the game that we're going to clear today, has nowhere to run to. She has fled to the top of her castle. There's nothing that she can do to stop us from facing her definitively this time, and not in some silly quiz show. That stage we have passed. However, in this final room, as you can see, facing Grunty is not the only thing we can do. There are still 4 note doors left. So that's also something we'll be opening up today. The lowest one is 828. And as you can see, we have a giant blue egg. And this is actually an epic refill. You can't see it because I'm already full. But whenever you grab this egg, you immediately refill all of your eggs. The same deal is going to be the case for the red feathers, of course, and the gold feathers. That's no surprise. So if you're not full on any of your inventory items, here you can easily fill them up. And it's a good thing because we're going to need them in the boss fight. All 3 of them. It's not going to be a surprise. This way, at least we don't have to start looking for these things in the levels. We can just find them here. However, there is still a 4th note door, and this one is 882, so pretty much every single note in the game is required here. This one actually has a better price. There is still 1 more jigsaw puzzle to solve. It's a small one, it only requires 4, but you need pretty much every single jiggy in the game if you want to fill this one. And this is what it becomes. An extra honeycomb piece? No, even better. As you can see, our honeycomb pieces now turn red, and therefore saying double our health. Because that is what it does. Our health just got doubled. And that is the ultimate prize for getting pretty much every single note in the game and pretty much every single jiggy in the game. But we are here for one thing, and that is facing Grunty one last time. I'm not one to brag or boast, but after this, you'll both be toast. Okay, time for the final boss, finally. This is how she works. She will try to swoop in on us, on her broomstick. Simply avoid her, and once she lowers her guard, make sure not to get hit yourself, and then hit her. Ouch, my gut you nearly hit. If your shot was down a bit. Okay, number 2, same deal. Nothing really changes here, just do the same thing over again. Bam. Be careful for her projectile attacks, apparently also a thing. One last time. You're way too slow, Grunty. You're not even close to hitting me. Time for the next phase. No, apparently not. One more. But she's a little bit faster this time, I can see. Still not fast enough. Just keep on walking and there's no way she will hit you. It's now time to end your fun. Here comes a spell you can't outrun. Okay, homing projectile. Wonder Wing is the only way you can actually avoid this, so make sure you've got plenty of gold feathers. Phase 2. As you can see, she will now start throwing around some fireballs at us. Try to get on this wall while avoiding her stuff and try to hit her with blue eggs. The only thing that can reach her at this point. That's not fair, I wasn't ready. I feel faint and all unsteady. Yeah, then you shouldn't be hovering in such a position where we can actually reach you. If only you would be a little bit higher, Grunty, then we would have a problem. Here we can hit you. 3 eggs actually is enough to get a hit in, and she will move on to the next wall, as you can see. It becomes more and more difficult to avoid her fireballs. The interval in between them becomes shorter, as you can see. Just make her do her thing. After throwing a couple of fireballs, she has a little bit of a longer pause, and that you can actually use in order to get the shot in yourself. Like right over here, as you can see. She waits a little bit longer, and that is her chance.
See my broomstick? Now watch me fly. I'll beat your butt, don't even try.
Quick, use this fly pad and get up there and teach her a lesson. For phase number 3, we are taking it to the skies, as you can see. She will start flying around, occasionally trying to throw a fireball at us. And we need to, barge into her. It's pretty predictable what we need to do. 3 or 4 hits does the trick. And avoiding her fireballs in this phase is actually pretty easy. Because if you're flying, you're pretty much always moving. So, avoiding her stuff usually just happens on its own. Oh! Epic miss. Luckily the arena is pretty big when it comes to the sky, so you don't have to worry about hitting an invisible wall or anything. There we go. Just be careful, it is possible to actually fall off here, and it will immediately end the boss fight if you do. It will count as a death. You have to do the whole thing over again. This is no boss fight with checkpoints in it. If you fail the boss fight by dying, either falling off the arena or running out of health, you have to do the entire thing over again. So be careful. As you might have noticed by now, it's a pretty long boss fight.
So, Grunty doesn't come to grief. Here's a spell I can hide beneath.
Okay, now she starts cheating. A defensive spell. And in such a way that we can't hit her anymore. However, of course, there is a solution.
Our new friends are in trouble. We Jinjos will help you. I hit those Jinjos really well, but must have used a lousy spell.
It looks like our saving the Jinjos throughout this game is going to get rewarded. The Jinjos have put 4 statues here. And if we input eggs in them, some giant Jinjos will hatch from them. And they will attack Grunty for us.
How that Jinjo stung and burned. He got me when my back was turned.
But of course, 1 is not enough. Using 4 of these statues for nothing. Make sure to avoid her fireballs, and in the meantime, get a chance to shoot blue eggs in these holes. That should put an end to phase 4. Okay, here's the orange one. Still no damage. Hopefully this one will. One last attack. Bam! And that takes out her broomstick.
Useless broomsticks I can't stand. It's left me stranded back on land.
Okay, and the fight continues on our level. The only problem is she still has the shield, as you can see. So we still can't hit her. Avoiding is everything we can do for now. I am the mighty Jinjonator. Activate me.
That rocky moron can't hurt me, cause Grunty will the winner be.
Awesome, an even more big Jinjo statue. And that is going to be the trick. Avoiding her fireballs and her homing attack is actually pretty difficult at this point, so make sure you have plenty of gold feathers. You won't get a whole lot of chances to actually input eggs in this statue. Just make sure to avoid her homing attack and then quickly get some eggs in, because there's a little bit of a pause between that attack and the next fireball bombardment. Play it carefully, avoid her fireballs, wait for the homing attack, avoid that with the Wonder Wing, and then quickly input some eggs in the holes. There's 4 of them this time, as you can see. Every single side of the statue has one. So it takes a while for this one to actually fill up entirely. 1 more to go, and let's finish this. The mighty Jinjonator. Imprisoning the Jinjos throughout this game is coming back to bite you, Grunty. Oh, she's feeling it. She knows this is trouble. The smaller Jinjos were easily avoided by her, but this one is going to be a bigger problem.
Grunty's strength will see me through. When Jinjo's gone, I'll better you.
I'm not too sure your shield can take a whole lot more, Grunty.
I'm done for now, hear me choke. But look what's hidden in my cloak.
One last attack, however, she misses. And Grunty has been defeated. She gets knocked off her own lair. And without her broomstick, there's nothing she can do to stop it. Bam!
Too heavy. Grunty's fate, this should not be. So hurry, Klongo, rescue me.
And so ends the terror of Grunty the Witch. A hole in the ground, blocked off by a giant rock. And now it's finally time to party. This time we have earned it. Party on the beach. I don't remember inviting you to this party, Captain Blubber. Well, I did invite her. Hello. Anyway, time for some dialogue. Ah, this is great. Have we finished now, Tooty? Can I relax?
Sure, Banjo. You and Kazooie are heroes now. Did you hear that, Shorty? I'm a hero. Yes, I suppose you are. Well done, Kazooie. Thanks, Goggles. You're not so dumb after all.
That's enough, Kazooie. Let's all watch the cast list now. Alright, and now a cast of characters will roll, introducing us to all of the characters in this game. It does not function as end credits, like the ones we've seen after the Grunty quiz. So, I can use this to immediately also close off the project. Banjo-Kazooie. Like I explained in the beginning, an awesome, revolutionary game, introduced the 3D collectathon as we know it. Even though we don't see a whole lot of them nowadays anymore, it is still a genre I really, really love. Yooka-Laylee being a very recent one, of course, also developed by the same developers that made this game. Also a game I really love. However, it's going to be a pretty long time before we actually get to see that. When it comes to this genre, there's of course multiple of these games on the N64, one of them being a sequel to this game, one that I've been talking about throughout this project quite a lot. Banjo-Tooie, the second game, not just in this genre but also in this franchise. Banjo-Tooie is going to be the next game I'm going to play when it comes to Banjo-Kazooie. However, there might be another 3D collectathon I'm going to play first. I'm not too sure about that yet, because none of the other 3D collectathons are currently in my... I'm not too sure which one I'm going to play first, but it might be Donkey Kong 64. But I can't be too certain about that quite yet. But at least we have finished the first one, the one that actually introduced us to the genre. 3D collectathon. Even though it was pretty basic, the game wasn't very big, at least not compared to what they become later. Especially if you compare it to Donkey Kong 64 and Banjo-Tooie's size. Those are massive games compared to this one. However, I might not entirely be done with this game yet. As you may know, there was one thing about this game during the Let's Play that actually came up multiple times. And those are actually a couple of weird mysteries that we've seen throughout this game. Think about the unopened pyramid in Gobi's Valley. Think about the ice key in Wazza's Cave in Frizizi Peak. The weird business surrounding Sharkfoot Island in Treasure Trove Cove. Because of those mysteries, you might say this game is not done yet. However, before I'm going to start talking about that, I need to wait until the final cutscene in this game. There's actually one more piece of dialogue before this game finishes. And that is going to talk about it. And it's also immediately going to be the reason why I'm not going to cover it now. I will cover it, but much, much later. That is the one last thing that I need to do, and therefore there will be a bonus episode for this game. However, it is not going to come up now. It's not going to be tomorrow's episode. It's going to come up much later. There's a pretty funny aspect that the N64 was actually trying to play around with. It failed there, but later on the Xbox versions of all 3 of the games. Yeah, you heard me correctly. 3 games. The third Banjo-Kazooie game is actually also involved in this. But at least there they were able to actually make this stop and swap work for the first time. So I will not be covering it now. Do remember there is still a bonus episode coming up later for Banjo-Kazooie. Even though it's not going to be placed in this project quite yet. For that we're going to need to wait until the third Banjo-Kazooie game before that finally becomes a thing. But okay, enough about the future of this project. Let's go talk about the current project, Banjo-Kazooie. If you've enjoyed the game, watching it, it is pretty easy to play it nowadays. It's not just on Xbox Live Arcade, which is accessible from Xbox 360, Xbox One, and even the Xbox Series nowadays. So on those consoles, this is a pretty easily accessible game. But you don't necessarily need an Xbox, because even on Nintendo Switch and Wii U, the Virtual Console, and Nintendo Switch Online Plus, where the N64 is a part of, even there this game can be played. Even though there it is the original N64 version, which is not a whole lot different, but there are some minor differences. But still, the game is pretty easily playable. So if you'd like to play the game yourself, if you thought this looks like fun, or you know the game from a long time ago, it is pretty easily accessible. Both on Xbox, where it is because of Rare being part of Microsoft nowadays, but also Nintendo actually has re-released the game. So, that was the closing. Now let's return to that final cutscene for the final revelation of that one thing that we still need to do in this game, officially. Let's see what we have missed. Ah, Mumbo, so you're the one that was actually in the tree. Hey, Mumbo got secret pictures.
Nice one, Bone Brain. What's on them?
Got pictures of things you missed. Secrets used in next game. Ooh, did you hear that, Kazooie? We are going to be in another game.
Great, so let's see the pictures then, Skirt Boy.
Did you get all 100 jigsaw pieces? Oh yeah, of course, that's also a requirement, otherwise you're not going to see this. We sure did, Mr. Mumbo.
Yeah, so show us your secrets,
Masked midget. Pictures show things you missed. Secrets that are for new game. Banjo-Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts. Sounds great. Is it any good? Nuts and Bolts is the third Banjo-Kazooie game, by the way. Mumbo's jaw dropped in awe. Come on, talk to us.
Hey, I'd better be in it too, short stuff.
Of course you will be. Banjo-Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts make Banjo-Kazooie look like joke. Mumbo show you pictures of stuff you can use in new game. Here, take a look. Find first secret on the beach.
Hey, Shorty, how did you make that rock rise up?
Her. Mumbo not telling. Yeah, last time we were there, that rock was just very small. Wow, a secret cavern. Bear and Bird must climb to top.
What's up there, Thumbskull?
Wait and see, oh filthy feathered one. Ooh, it looks rather high.
Don't worry, Banjo.
It looks like I have to get us up there. And the cutscene failed. Interesting. Next secret found in snow. That's Waza's cave. Yeah, that was the place where we saw that mysterious ice key. We've already been in here.
Hey, what was that egg for on the beach? Tell us.
Bird, be quiet. Watch picture.
What's through here?
Ugh, it's a giant ice key.
I know where I'd like to stick that.
Kazooie! Another secret can get in desert. Yeah, that's also a place we noticed.
Nice, Mumbo. Please tell us what the X and key are for.
No, bird rude to Mumbo, not tell. I wonder what's in here.
It's only another stupid egg.
Yeah, but unlike the last one, in this one we can actually see because the cutscene did not fail. Wow, how do we get to those?
Mumbo not telling.
Find out in Banjo-Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts. Originally in the dialogue it was actually talking about Banjo-Tooie, the next N64 game. But the stop and swap feature, and that is actually what this is trying to tell us about, stop and swap. Items that can be gotten in this game and in the other games that can be used to get certain secrets. However, the stop and swap feature actually did not work out in the N64 version, but here on the Xbox it did get reinitiated. But more on that in the next game. Rock so heavy, but Klungo must rescue Mistress.
All the jiggies you did snatch, but I'll be back for my rematch.
Indeed, Grunty. Because we have won. The game is over. Grunty is stuck under the rock. But of course, there are more games. There is Banjo-Tooie. And Grunty will be back. I hope you enjoyed this project. We'll be back much later. See you folks then. And Treecks out. Have a lot of fun playing this game yourself as well. See you in Banjo-Tooie.